All right. So like we were talking about with Tim, kind of in our introduction, we're on our next lesson here, which is iron analysis and wedges. So what Tim was talking to me about was he was having a little bit of trouble, getting his wedges close. He was hitting them long, hitting them short. He really didn't feel like he had a variety of shots with his wedges. And when I was watching him practice a little bit, I could see that he really didn't have, anything other than a full swing and then maybe a little choke down swing. So one thing we talked about in one of the drills that we worked on that you see a little bit later was we worked on kind of creating a clock with his swing. So we come back here to 9 o'clock, then up to 10, then up to 11, and then all the way to the full swing. And so what that does is we're creating 4 to 5 distances that he can carry it with. And so by him being able to fill out, 9 o'clock goes 60 yards, 10 o'clock goes 70 yards, so on and so forth, he's able to create those shots on the golf course as well. And he's also able to do that with all of his wedges to create individual distances where he can, dial it in, 75 yards, that's, 9 o'clock, 54 degrees, so on and so forth. So by doing that, he's able to really dial in his short game. It's going to help him get better scores. So let's go, demonstrate just a short 90-degree 9 o'clock score.
All right, so here's a little example of what we're working on with Tim here. So you see that we have one alignment rod that's just going to focus on where his feet are aligned. He's looking at a target about 150 yards away. And what we were kind of noticing is that his shoulders were not aligned quite parallel with his feet. And it was causing his playing to kind of change because sometimes he was close, sometimes he was open. So what we did was, before he swings each time, we're having him put a club just right across of his chest there, right along his shoulder line. That's going to help him see each line up. That's going to help him line up towards the target a little bit better and get more consistent alignment, which will also kind of help him out when he gets his plane back on at making consistent swings and getting consistent ball flights. You'll also see that I have him aligning that ball just on the bottom of the grip there, and that's going to make it so that he knows exactly where that ball is going to be lined up each time, so we can kind of hammer on both alignment and consistency of his ball placement. All right, so what we just worked on with Tim here is we're working on getting him to hit that push draw that he wants to hit. We saw earlier he's hitting a little bit of a push cut. He's got a little bit of an open club face, a little bit underneath. So what we've done here is, after a couple of drills that we've done with the tee, getting a little more extension in his golf swing, what we've done is we've laid a little target out there. It's even with our 150 target. And what we're going to do is have Tim try to hit it to the right of that line and then bring it back in towards the target. This is going to give him a little bit more of an intermediate target, to look at, and something that he can kind of visualize out there on the golf course as well. All right, Tim, let's see what you got.
He wasn't feeling well.
Beautiful. Nice 5-yard draw from Tim there. All right, so now we're here with our second lesson here, which is on short game. So Tim's setting up here for his chip shot. Tim, we're going to hit this shot just like a greenside pitch shot. Let's take a look at it real quick. So one thing you'll notice with Tim's chipping is that he has a really wide base and kind of hangs back a little bit. So what we're going to do here is adjust Tim. So Tim, what I want you to do is put your feet pretty close together here. I want you to play it off that right big toe there, and I want you to lean the shaft forward a little bit. So what this is going to do is this is going to help Tim really get a sense of where the shaft's going to be. It's going to help him get the ball up in the air easier and have a little bit more solid contact. Tim, let's see it just like that. See a much better strike. He got a little bit of spin on it. And so what we can do from that position though is, if Tim, go ahead and grab a ball real quick. So the good thing about using that kind of stance is that if Tim wants to, Tim can put that same swing on the front foot, put that line up just like we said, put it on the front foot, and now he can take the exact same swing. Go ahead, Tim, and hit it a little bit higher. So the key to this is that Tim wanted to hit his ball a little more consistent, and he also wanted to be able to hit different shots. So what we're doing here is, by moving that ball back in his stance and putting that weight forward, now he's got a lot more control over his short game, as well as he's also able to hit a wide variety of shots rather than the one singular shot that he was able to hit before, which is a chunk and a shank.